Hi, welcome to the new session regarding APPSC Group 1. The AP government on September 30th released notification regarding Group 1, and you can submit the application from 13th of October to 2nd of November 2022, and the exam will be conducted on 18th December 2022. So here I am going to discuss the syllabus pattern of this examination, and in further sessions I will help you with the preparation for this examination. So let's go with the syllabus. So this is the pattern. This exam has two papers, 120 minutes time and 120 questions with 120 marks. So the first paper, General Studies, has four sections: History and Culture, which has a weightage of 30 marks. The second section is Constitution, Polity, Social Justice, and International Relations, which is again for 30 marks. Indian and Andhra Pradesh Economy and Planning, this is also for 30 marks. And Geography, Physical, as well as the um, political mapping of Andhra Pradesh as well as India for 30 marks. The second paper is General Aptitude. It is also for 120 marks with 120 questions, and it has two sections. First section is General Mental Ability, Administrative and Psychological Abilities. This is for 60 marks. And in the second section, Science and Technology for 30 marks and Current Events of Regional, National and International Importance, that means Current Affairs, for 30 marks. So we will discuss each section of the syllabus in detail. So in the paper 1, that is General Study, History and Culture consists of it. Here is a detailed syllabus. That means you know how to prepare, what are the each word, it details you how to prepare important things. Indus Valley Civilization, so its features, sites, society, cultural history, art and religion, Vedic age, Mahajanpadas, and religions such as Jainism and Buddhism. These are very important. The Magadhas, the Mauryans, foreign invasions and their impact. So the foreign invasions such as Alexander and some are coming into the Indian, and how it impacted socially, culturally and economically the Indian subcontinent. And then the Satavahanas, the Sangam age, the Sungas, the Gupta Empire, which is culturally very important. So the administration. So in each empire, we will discuss about administration, social, religious, and economic conditions. What is the art and architecture developed? How is the literature? What is the growth of science and technology? We will discuss all these in further classes. So it also has Kannauj and their contributions and the South Indian dynasties. These are very important as this is exam regarding in the South Indian. So these are very important. Mostly the questions will be from this section. So the Badami Chalukyas, Eastern Chalukyas, Rashtrakutas, Chalukyas, Cholas, Hoysalas, Yadavas. So the chronological order and how each are linked to each other, and what are their political, social and religious conditions. So these are very important. And then comes the Delhi Sultanate, and in the south Vijayanagara Empire, the Mughal Empire, which comes after Delhi Sultanate in the north, and then Bhakti movements, then Vaishnavism or Saivism, and also Sufism. So, and also the administrative, economy, society, religion, literature, art and culture during the Delhi Sultanate and Vijayanagara Empire, which is very famous for literature. And the Mughal Empire also has a lot of art and architecture developed during this period. So these are all important. Then next comes the European trading companies in India, such as the British, the Dutch, French, how they struggle for supremacy. So with reference to provinces such as Bengal, Bombay, Madras, Andhra and Nizam. So the governor generals during the successor governor generals in each period and the viceroys. And then comes the very important thing, Indian War of Independence of 1857. What are the causes for its origin? How is it its nature? And what are the consequences? What is its significance in the further movements that developed the nationalism feeling in the Indians, mainly concerned to this state, and also religious and social reform movements in the 19th century in India and also in our concerned state, that means mainly Telugu region, Andhra Pradesh. India's freedom movement, revolutionaries in India and abroad. So different revolutionaries that worked for the freedom of India from staying in India and also in from abroad, such as um, our Netaji Subhash Chandra Bose, and the important figures such as Mahatma Gandhi, what is his thoughts, how his principles and philosophy worked for the movement, and important satyagrahas, what he followed, the role of Sardar Vallabhbhai Patel in reconciling the Indian state, Subhash Chandra Bose in freedom movement, and then in post-independence consolidation regarding the partition and how the states are reconciled, on what basis the states were divided. These are all comes here. And one important thing here, it was mentioned especially in the syllabus is Dr. B.R. Ambedkar, his life contribution to making of Indian Constitution, because he is called as the father of the Indian Constitution. So this became very important because it was mentioned very specifically here. So it is very important. And then India after independence, reorganization of states in India. This comes here. Next, the Constitution. So how the Indian Constitution is evolved, what are its features, what compiles the preamble, what are fundamental rights, fundamental duties, directive principles, different amendments, significant provisions, what is basic structure, judgments regarding all these also we'll discuss in further sections. Functions and responsibility of union and state. So how the responsibilities are divided between state and the union, what is the parliament and state legislatures position, their function, powers and privileges, challenges pertain to federal structure. So federal structure, what, how the relationship between states and the union government, how the finances are divided between state and the center. So different, there will be challenges. What are these challenges? Constitutional authorities, who are the constitutional authorities, what are their powers, functions and responsibilities, local government, that is Panchayat Raj, public policy and governance, how a state is governed, what are the provisions under these also we'll discuss. Then impact of liberalization, privatization and globalization, we know LPG, so we'll discuss this also. Statute, regulatory and quasi-judicial bodies, we'll discuss all these. Rights issues, that means human rights these days, these are very much in news. Women's rights, SC, ST rights, child rights, very very important. We know in the current situation regarding the Ukraine war, many things happening around us in the society, so women rights and SC, ST rights, mainly child rights, are also very important. Foreign policy, how we have developed international relations and what are the institutions that help for that, agencies, different forums, structure and mandates, important policies and programs of central and state governments regarding foreign policy. We'll discuss all those. So once we know the syllabus thoroughly, we will be able to study, we will relate it very well. So studying the syllabus is very important. That was I'm in the first video I'm focusing very much detailedly in the syllabus. So if we know the syllabus, we are 50% done with the preparation. So don't avoid this. Study the syllabus once, not once, 2 to 3 times. And while you're preparing for a subject, first study the important what are the were mentioned in the syllabus. Then while you are studying, there will be strike in your mind, so that you remember it very well. You can plan accordingly. So the next thing is India and Andhra Pradesh economy and planning. So Indian economy as well as Andhra Pradesh economy specifically, as we are preparing for the state government exam. So if you will be post in the state, you should know the economy and how it is planned specifically. So what is the basic structure of Indian economy as a developing economy? So India is a developing economy. So what are the characteristics? How is the economic development since independence? What are the objectives and achievements of planning? Niti Aayog, its contribution, growth and distributive justice, economic development, human development index. So index is also very important that helps you how the economy is growing. Is it going in a positive way? Uh, so these indexes will tell us what is the India's rank in it. Environmental degradation and challenges. So in sustainable development is very important. So while we are planning the economy, we should also take into consideration the economical considerations also. So what is this regarding the environmental policy for the sustainable development? So then comes the national income. What is national income? All its concepts and components. National account, demographic issues, poverty and inequalities. What is the status of poverty in India? Inequalities, that means poor and rich, between the status of women regarding with respect to men. So all these are important. Occupational structure and employment and unemployment. We know unemployment is growing everywhere, not only in India. So what are the various schemes regarding employment and poverty eradication, issues of rural development and urban development? So there will be different schemes both from the center and the states that helps for the development of both in rural and urban. Indian agriculture. So we know India is mainly an agrarian country. Of course, now it is growing as a industrial economy also. Regarding Indian agriculture, what is the status of irrigation, inputs of agriculture, agriculture strategy, agriculture policy, agrarian crisis and land reforms. Land reforms are very important since independence. We are struggling on this. Agriculture credit, minimum support prices. We know this is always in the news. Malnutrition, food security, Indian industry, industrial policy, Make in India, Startup India, Stand Up India. These are different programs of the central government. SEZs, Special Economic Zones, and industrial corridors, energy and power policies, economic reforms, that is, we already it was already mentioned, LPG. What is the international trade and balance of payments, relations of between India and WTO and different countries? What are the financial institutions of India? RBI, the monetary policy, banking and financial sector reforms, commercial banks, NPAs, very important, financial markets, instabilities, stock exchange and SEBI, Indian tax system, recent sciences such as GST. So recently GST was introduced, and what is its impact on commerce and industry, how the GST is distributed between states and center, financial relations regarding this, what is the financial commissions, how the resources are shared, what is public debt, public expenditure, fiscal policy, budget, so both state budget as well as the union budget. Then comes the characteristic and basic features of Andhra Pradesh economy. After bifurcation 2014, impact of bifurcation on the endowment of natural resources and state revenue, disputes of river water between Krishna and Godavari, water sharing and their impact on irrigation, mainly the Krishna irrigation. But still we are listening in the news. What are the new challenges for industry and commerce? We know that once Hyderabad is a great commercial center, but after bifurcation, we are struggling to develop the industry and commerce, new capital, such things, new initiatives to develop infrastructure, power and transport, information technology, and e-governance. So e-governance, we know we are doing well. So what some important things regarding the e-governance? Approaches to development and initiatives in agriculture, policies, different policies regarding agriculture, industry, and social sector, urbanization and smart cities. We know these days we're listening many things about smart cities. Recently, we have a report also regarding all these. So skill development and employment and social welfare programs such as Manega and Rega. And very important thing, what is the AP Reorganization Act of 2014? So this is very important since the reorganization of the state. Economic issues arising out of bifurcation. What are the economic issues? We know. We already discussed. There is a huge economic lacking after the bifurcation. So what is the central government's promise regarding the assistance for building a new capital? Compensation for loss of revenue, development of backward districts. We know there are many backward districts in AP too. Issues such as Vizag railway zone, Kadapa steel factory, Dugarajapatnam airport, expressways and different industrial corridors that needs to be developed, which are always in use these days. So these are very important for the exam. Special status. We know the government is facing many issues regarding the special status from their position and all these. Special assistant controversies, government stand and measure. So it was very much mentioned here what is the controversies regarding the special status and special assistant that was promised by the government during the reorganization. What is the present government stand? What are the measures it is taking? It is also important. So we should know in detail all these matters. And here comes the geography, both general geography and physical geography. You know, general geography includes the solar system, motions of the earth. These are all we are studying since our childhood. So concept of time, the time interval, different time zones, how the seasons are formed, what is the internal structure of the earth, core, mantle. We have all this, no? Major landforms and their features. What are major landforms? Continents, how the oceans are formed, how the landslides occur, different landforms, volcanoes, all these and their features. should be studied, and then atmosphere, structure and composition from top to bottom, troposphere to exosphere, elements and factors of climate, what is weather, and air masses, how the fronts are formed, atmospheric disturbances such as cyclones, climate change, impact of climate change, and regarding oceans, how the oceans are formed, physical, their chemical composition, biological characteristics, how it helps for different fauna, hydrological disasters, tsunami, so marine and continental resources. So these are important. Physical. See, once the syllabus we know while we're studying, we will know what is important in a specific book. So studying the unnecessary things is also time waste. No? So knowing the syllabus is the best thing for the preparation. Then comes the physical. World and India and concerned state. Here concerned state is again AP. So physical geography of AP. Major physical divisions: earthquakes, landslides, physical divisions such as eastern ghats or the rivers, natural drainage, that is rivers, climate change and regions, how the monsoon will be here, what is the impact, different type of vegetation, either deciduous or moist deciduous, dry deciduous, and in different parks and sanctuaries, means national parks and wildlife sanctuaries, which are important here. And also not only in the state, which are in the news regarding India are also very important. So major soil types, what are the soil types in India and especially in Andhra, rocks and minerals, what are the major and minor minerals, all this should be known. So social structure of the world, how the society is, what is India based on concerned state, that means what is the distribution, population distribution, density, and how is the growth, sex ratio, what mean, girl child to boy child ratio, literacy, occupational structures, what is the occupational structure in AP, SC and ST population, rural-urban components, racial and tribal, religious and linguistic groups. How is the urbanization? What is the status of urbanization? What is the impact of migration? Whether it is immigration or uh, migration, metropolitan regions, both in state and also the outside of the state, and the economic. Major sectors of economy. What are the major sectors of economy? Agriculture, industry, service sector. What is the silent feature? How the, which is mainly based here, how it is growing. Basic industries such as agro industries, mineral, forest, fuel and manpower based industry, transport and trade, patterns and issues regard all these transport and trade patterns, issues after bifurcation or in different zones in India. This is the paper 1 syllabus and which is very important. So in paper 2 general aptitude, we also have the other portion in paper 2. Instead of all this mathematics, we also have these are all in the 10th up to 10th based. These are very easy but need practice also. Also there is another section in the paper 2, that is science and technology. So nature and scope of science and technology. So it is very much in news now. Relevance of science and technology in the day-to-day life, smartphones, everything. National policy and science. What is the national policy and science and technology? For the different institutions and organizations in promoting science and technology, their activities, contribution of prominent Indian scientists. These are to be studied. So in science and technology, important thing, information communication technology in day-to-day life, Internet of Things, all this. In every day we listen to one or two cases regarding the cyber security concerns. So what is the cyber crime policy regarding this? Different government programs and technology in space and defense. So in regard Make in India, also we are developing a lot of things regarding defense. So how the ISRO has evolved, what are its achievements, activities. So that means we have to study with the different satellite programs. So next, in further, ISRO is about to launch many satellite programs, either the Chandrayaan 2 or these are also very important Indian regional navigation satellite systems. So that helps for the navigation throughout India, remote sensing, satellites for defense, regarding education, academic purposes, defense research. So mainly DRDO. What is its vision, mission and activities? So here very important is the programs of ISRO and its activities for the development of both in academic purposes and defense, and the progress of DRDO. And then comes the energy requirement and efficiency. Energy is very important for the development of any country. So what is the existing needs in India? What are the deficits? On what it is dependent more? Energy policy of Indian government policies and program. So we are now very much renewable sources such as solar, wind, nuclear energy. What are the programs concerned? This how the development is going on in the solar sector, wind, nuclear energy. These are all to be studied. Indian International Solar Alliance is also taking place in India. Next comes the environmental science. We already in paper 1 we have some sections regarding all this as impact of climate change in the economy portion for the sustainable development. Here also it comes issues and concern to environment. What are the legal aspects and policies and treaties for the protection of environment at national and international levels? There are many programs and policies for the environment. So to deal with the climate change. So biodiversity, important concern. International initiatives, protocols, legal framework for forest and wildlife conservation in India. What are the environmental hazards? Carbon emission, global warming. These are all the burning topics. National Action Plan on Climate Change, Disaster Management, Biotechnology and Nanotechnology. These are all very much burning topics. So what are its applications and how it is? Ethical and social legal issues. We know with the growth of technology, there are some issues regarding ethical and social and legal issues, and the cyber crimes are happening, and social issues such as with the usage of many machines, with the smart work, there is a growth of unemployment in the country, also in the worldwide. So, what are the government policies regarding all this? And one and other important thing is genetic engineering. What issues related to it and its impact on human life, health and environment. So this is about the environmental science and current events of regional national importance, that is current affairs, very important. So it was mentioned that current affairs alone is for 30 marks in paper 2. So we should focus very much on this. So that comes the end of this session. So we discussed all the syllabus in detail. So in further sections, I will help you for the preparation. So in detail, each and every topic, I will try to cover all the topics in the syllabus regarding paper 1 as well as the part 2 of the paper 2, that is current affairs and science and technology. Okay, so stay tuned for further classes and make it beneficial for your preparation. Wish you all the best. Thank you.